The footage shows how seals hunt, approaching their prey in silence. If a fish tries to hide in a crevice in the ice, the seal literally blows it out into the water, ready for the chase.
These animals dive to great depths, but we don't really know what they're doing down there because we can't observe them directly. This new technology is opening up a window which allows us to observe their behavior at depth in what for us is a very alien environment.
The video also showed that seals could swim for 2 miles and still find their way back to an air hole without running out of breath. The camera will be removed once the experiment is complete. Its remarkable footage is a scientific breakthrough, revealing previously unknown information about the behaviour of the seal. Daniela Ralph, BBC News.
As St. Valentine's Day
has fitted a new type of artificial pump to help his heart. Surgeons say it could revolutionise the treatment of certain heart diseases. Artificial devices which beat like a heart have been tried for 30 years. Initially, they completely replaced the diseased heart. Later, auxiliary pumps were attached to the heart. Then, a space engineer proposed a space-age alternative.
And liftoff of Space Shuttle Columbia on a diverse...
Pumps in the shuttle's engines move large amounts of fuel at fairly low pressure. The engineer reckoned the same device could help the heart. So they developed this little impeller. It spins at 10,000 revolutions a minute, driving blood round the body. The man behind the research project is surgeon Michael DeBakey, now 90 years old. He demonstrated how it's sewn onto the heart so blood can bypass the heart's main pumping chamber. Last November, the 9 o'clock news reported on the first operation in Berlin. Now the surgeons have completed a series of 6. 4 of those patients are alive and well. Recently, Rudolf Hauer and Joseph Pristoff went out to celebrate with their artificial pumps still whirring in their bodies.
Es war ja vorher nicht mehr möglich, dass ich so essen gegangen wäre. Und ja, das baut einfach auf für die Zukunft.
Jetzt kann man runtergehen, ja. Kann man spazieren gehen, kann man ein bisschen was rumschauen in der Halle, da in der Geschäft rumschauen. Und so. Essen darf man nicht so viel, weil dann ist der Bauch zu groß.
The miniature heart can either tide the patient over until he gets a human heart transplant, or it can buy time until the patient's own heart recovers. It's been a 30-year race for an effective artificial heart pump. DeBakey believes he's nearly there.
This has tremendous clinical potential when you think in terms of the numbers of patients who are in chronic heart failure, for whom very little can be done except maybe a heart transplant.
His patients would certainly drink to that. James Wilkinson, BBC News.
And there'll be more on this story on Horizon at 9:30 on Thursday evening on BBC Two. A French yacht representing victims of the Nazis say the company's move is too little and too late.
More than 50 years after the Nazis, and yet another German chancellor finds himself grappling with his country's past. Gerhard Schröder was flanked today by business leaders. German companies are under fire for profiting from slave labor during the war.
Sie wissen, meine Damen und Herren, dass es eine breite Diskussion über Verantwortung deutscher Unternehmen bezogen.
The Chancellor said German companies had a responsibility for what happened, and now a new fund would compensate victims. Beside him was a man with a special interest in this. Rolf Breuer runs Germany's biggest bank, Deutsche Bank, and it's emerged that the concentration camp at Auschwitz was built with a loan from Deutsche Bank. So the bank is now linked with the horrors of the Nazi extermination and slave labor. Deutsche Bank's chairman is planning a big takeover in America. That's now in jeopardy. So I asked if the new fund was really just to help his plans.
Not really. Deutsche Bank is only one participant and many, many others do contribute to that.
But why has it taken so long? Why are you doing this now? He didn't seem to like that question.
Whether this fund will start to pay before the German industry...
Campaigners like Lothar Evers simply don't trust the companies. He runs a support centre for victims of the Nazis, and calls have come in all day.
If the funds don't start within the next few months, really, with these payments, again, many survivors will just die, and this diminishes the sum that we need to compensate them.
The German government hopes that creating this fund will draw this Nazi legacy to a close. But only a dozen of many companies involved have come forward. No actual sum of money for the fund has yet been agreed. And the timing of all of this, just before a major deal in America, will, to many, look suspicious. So this controversy will not die down. David Schuckman, BBC News in Bonn.
Here,